Hello, and today we're going to talk about Portfolio02. This will be a multi-phase project, so it will last the whole semester. So as we move through the multiple phases, there will be grades assigned to it, and today we're going to talk about phase 1. So you'll be able to find that information, Portfolio02, phase 1. The goal of this project is going to be to redesign a logo. So the purpose of this portfolio project is to give students an exposure to logo design principles. This project will be an ongoing project throughout the semester. The first phase is research to learn about the client. This information will be crucial for later phases of the design process. Research and investigation is key to developing design solutions. During this phase, the scope of the work, problems, and criteria are determined. The thoroughness of the information obtained in this phase determines the success of the solution. What we're going to do is develop a write-up of 4 paragraphs that discuss the following topics. So you'll have one paragraph that's basically going to research our client. So this client is a program here at school known as DPET. That stands for Diesel Power Engine Technology. And I'd like for you to get on the internet and kind of look around to understand what this program offers and what it's about. So you really can't develop a symbol or a logo for an entity that you don't have an understanding of their purpose. So that's one component to it. The other one is I'd like for you to spend some time thinking about the target audience. This is going to require some research also. Think about the age, income, education, interests, and culture. I am going to explain a little bit about each one of those because it's kind of critical to understand why you're thinking about age and why you're thinking about income and etc. So age is critical to the process of developing imagery and symbols because as we grow older, we tend to look at things in a different light than we do when we're younger. So making sure that you're targeting the correct age with the message, whether it's a written message or a visual message, is critical. Getting a bead on whether or not these are really, really young kids, meaning, like, are they still in high school? Are we looking at people who are towards the end of their working career? Or where are they at in the middle? Having that number can basically help you to create some idea of the things that they might find appealing. Now, these can be generalities. I'm not saying that all people who are in their 40s are the same or all people in their 30s are the same, but you might see that there are trends that will reinforce a message or make a message more received by a current audience. Income, what's the financial income of these students? And this basically determines the overall background of these guys, what they're going to find interesting and how they might perceive a logo. What are the things that they're buying and what are the symbols that they're used to seeing? So that's kind of an important aspect too. Does it seem flashy? Does it seem old? Does it seem new? Is it trendy or is it something that maybe established feel to it? Education, some of the things that you want to think about too is the broader brand. When you're looking at a person's education, you need to basically make sure that the message that you're giving them is appropriate for their knowledge. So since we're developing a logo, this knowledge is really important because many times a logo will turn into more marketing opportunities. So I look at kind of the whole package of how a client is going to perceive a symbol or a piece of information that's more complex, like a whole website. Interests, what do you think these individuals that might be getting diesel service have for a background? Do they have certain hobbies? Do they have certain abilities? Kind of spell all that out so you get a full scope of what you're envisioning the people who are seeing this logo might be coming to the table with, so to speak. Part of this project that I think is super important is the fact that so many times, especially if you're kind of new to this field, you come to the table with these thoughts that are basically self-serving. And that, what I'm referring to is you're designing the logo for yourself, for your likes, for your perception of the world. And being someone who works on designs, you need to take that hat off, that personal hat off, as much as you can. You need to disengage from your own self-interest and look at the clients. Probably the most important skill that a designer can have is listening. Maybe only second to curiosity. Those are the two skills that are just critical. Being curious about how shapes work, but being curious about your client is really critical. And then listening to them, not thinking you're hearing what they're saying, but really listening to them and asking more questions if need be. So I know things are a little bit challenging right now to be able to go out and do personal interviews, but we do have some tools that allow for us to maybe do some investigative work by using the technology. So that's kind of what's going on with what we're doing here. Interests, also culture. Tell me a little bit about what you believe or what you perceive these people that might be coming to the ICC DPET program are culturally going to be like. So give me a profile of what you're thinking these men and women would be like. Who is the competition? That's number 3. So this is critical because usually when somebody wants to have an image redesigned, you're going to find that they're doing this because they have kind of one of 3 issues. Either they saw something that was better than theirs, and so they're kind of jealous. So maybe something that's more modern. They are wanting more market share. So perhaps they're realizing that we're struggling as a company or we're struggling as a program in this case. And so we'd like to increase people's awareness of our program or service, product, etc. So that can be one. And then third one is perhaps the company, the program has evolved over time. And maybe the information that their current design that they have out there, whether it's a logo or a web page or even a brochure, is dated. So those tend to be the 3 things that, from my experience, I found really bring people to the table and say, hey, we'd like to talk with you and maybe you can help us solve this problem. Competition research. Who are the competitors for the ICC diesel service students? I need you to find a dozen good schools in the Midwest and list the URLs for them. Look at the information found on the sites, see how they are promoting their programs, and critically look at the information that these other competitors are presenting. What's the language like that they're using when they talk about their programs? Is it real technical? Is it kind of easy to read? You know, if someone didn't know anything about it, maybe you know a lot about diesel, but maybe you don't. And are you struggling with it, or do you think someone might struggle with the way they're presenting this information? I mean, do you find it engaging too? Is it well written? What are the kind of peoples in the photos? That's a big one. Because a lot of times there's an old saying, if I can see it, I can be it. And a lot of times people don't see themselves in these careers because they've never saw anyone who's a woman doing stuff like this, or maybe they've never saw anyone who was from their culture doing this type of work. So the photos are critical. The age, maybe people think I'm too old to do this. But if the photos that they're putting out there include younger, middle-aged, and maybe even older individuals, men and women, people from different cultures and races, that can say a lot about how this school is trying to market to a broader audience. So pay attention to that. Now, does this have a lot to do with the logo? Well, maybe not a ton to do with it, but it might be, once again, part of the backdrop that's gonna make up the whole mixture for the marketing of this. And then, of course, when you're looking at these programs, what do the logos for the programs look like? And I'm referring that as any type of symbol, the color, what kind of symbol do they have in their logo? How are they approaching this problem of trying to tell a story or reinforce a message about their program with a simple crest or logo? How many colors they're having in it, what might those colors be, and what is the level of detail in their logos? Is it super detailed, showing some really complex mechanism, or a lot of stuff like a whole photograph, like a pictorial? How are they approaching it? Is it something that's very high detail, or is it something that's very low detail in their logo? And then last for this, the future, look at the current DPET logo and think about the current and future students. How will they affect the redesign of this logo? So the current logo is over 40 years old. Today, the world is much different than then. Are there any current or future trends you see that should be considered when redesigning the logo or brand for this program? Now, this is kind of a tall order, but I want you to really spend a little time thinking about maybe what's going to happen with a program that does this type of work, and where might the future be. Look around the internet maybe a little bit, see if maybe you can get a little insight. The work that you do right now on this, with this brief, if you were to meet with the client, would make a huge difference. One of the reasons why I bring this up is what I discovered when I was running my own business about working with clients is if you spend a day thinking about them, and then when you go in, you can ask intelligent questions, you gain their respect almost immediately, because they realize they don't have to explain everything, and that you're not coming to the table with a empty plate, that you have come basically to partner with them, and that partnership is what they're seeking. They don't need someone else who needs to be told what to do. They want someone to help them. So spending a little time trying to figure out what it's like to be in their shoes. What is it like to try and spend not just 1 hour or 1 day, but years thinking about how to please and get more clients? That's the job of a business, is to try and fill that need of a client and to find new clients. So the process of trying to help them is a big deal to them. The fact that they're even asking for help is a big deal. A lot of times they try and wear every hat, because the actual person who runs that business, the term for them is a SME, and that stands for subject matter expert. You find that if you work in the business very long, that you're going to work with topics that are very bizarre. And when you sit down with the client, there's probably not many people who know as much as they do about that subject, and who can be the resource that you're going to need to complete the project and to do it correctly. So you need to use them and to partner with them in order to complete that project. All right, I think I've talked enough about this. As I mentioned, this is phase 1. We're going to use this information to move on to phase 2. And then that information will be used to move on to phase 3 for this process. And I'll unfold it kind of as we go through the semester. I do need this part done in 1 week, so I do need you guys to develop a write-up. It should be a series of 4 paragraphs. If you think you haven't written enough, then you're probably right. So I'm not looking for 2 sentences. I'm looking for you to discuss it intelligently and use a page or more to do that. Look at the subject matter and use it as a point of reflection so that you can make sure that you understand who DPET is and what their audience is, who their competitors are, and what they're trying to achieve with this logo redesign. And as we move through this and I look at your stuff, I'll have some suggestions and help to fill in some of the blanks, so we'll be able to align better with who DPET is. So let's take a quick peek at what the existing logo looks like. We'll jump over here. The graphic is up online, and you can examine it So this is the current logo that I'm familiar with. They've got a wide array of different equipment in here, from mining equipment. So this large truck right here for hauling mining material. We've got a large crane over here, truck, a tractor, and then an excavator. Got a little sky and then some trees over here too. So training for success is their motto. And so Illinois Central College diesel power equipment is what their logo is indicating. So they've left out the word technology. So that's actually kind of an interesting component to it. Might be something that would deserve exploration about some of the wordage, seeing as how their current logo wordage is a little bit off. Anyway, this will give you an idea. You can look at it. They have definitely used more of a stylized font to draw attention to it. This is our starting point. So do your research, go out there, look around, see who's doing what, and we will continue on the semester with phase 2 and phase 3 after this. All right. Thank you.